Every year, it feels like the Egg Bowl has some type of wild ending. It is a rivalry game that truly means something to the fans and evokes pure hatred from the opposing side. It's like the conflict you experience at your Thanksgiving table every year. This is the history of the Egg Bowl. This is the history of a rivalry full of pure hatred. But before we get into this, if you enjoy college football content like this, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I am planning to release multiple videos a week this season. Also, let me know what your favorite college football rivalry is in the comment section below. Before we address the history of the rivalry, let's talk about the teams. Ole Miss began playing football in 1893 and have played every year since then except 1897 because of the yellow fever and 1943 due to World War II. Under head coach Johnny Vaught, Ole Miss won 3 national titles, 6 conference titles, and finished with 23 winning seasons in 24 years. Throughout the 50s, they were one of the winningest programs, only behind Miami of Ohio and Oklahoma in winning percentage. Since then, they have only won a share of the SEC West in 2003, losing the tiebreaker to LSU. They played in 40 bowl games, winning 24 of them, but have not been able to reach the same type of success they found under Vaught since. They are led by head coach Lane Kiffin, who is 23-13 going back to last season and is 2-1 against Mississippi State. Kiffin could be the guy to take Ole Miss back to national title contention with a 10-3 record in 2021 and are in contention to win the SEC West this year. Mississippi State began playing football in 1895 as Mississippi A&M, with their name changing in 1925. They hold the longest winning streak in series history when they won 13 straight from 1911 to 1925, also having the largest margin of victory during that same period, winning the 1915 game 65-0. Jackie Sherrill is the winningest coach in school history with a 75-75-2 record, followed by Dan Mullen, who went 69-46. Alan McKean has the best winning percentage by a coach in school history with a .764 winning percentage after going 65-19-3 from 1939 to 1948. They have an unclaimed national title from 1940 and a conference title in 1941. The last time they won the division was back in 1998, losing in the SEC title game to Tennessee that year. At the time of recording, they are coached by head coach Zach Arnett, who took over for the late Mike Leach in December of 2022. He led them to an emotional bowl win over Illinois 19-10 and has been on the staff since 2020. The first game between the Bulldogs and Rebels came in 1901 when the then Aggies beat the then Red and Blue 17-0 in Starkville. They would meet every year until 1911 until there was a 3-year hiatus. Since the games returned in 1915, the only year they have not played each other is 1943 due to World War II when neither school fielded a team. From 1973 through 1990, the game was played at Mississippi Veterans Memorial Stadium in Jackson, which seats about 62,000 people. The stadium was centrally located in the state, and the state's only venue capable of seating the anticipated crowd. For many years, Vaught Hemingway Stadium in Oxford seated only about 32,000, and Scott Field in Starkville seated about 31,000. Both campuses' venues have been considerably expanded and are now capable of accommodating the expected crowds, and both have been continually upgrading to this point where they are superior in amenities to Veteran Memorial Stadium. Mississippi State dominated the early years of the rivalry, going 17-5-1, but with the arrival of Vaught at Ole Miss, the tides turned as he went 19-2-4 against the Bulldogs. Ole Miss currently leads the series 64-46-6, and since 2009, Mississippi State is 8-5 against Ole Miss, but when you account for vacated wins, they are 7-3. So why is the game called the Egg Bowl? According to Ole Miss, the egg was first introduced during the 1927 iteration of the matchup. You see, in 1926, Ole Miss broke a 13-game losing streak and the fans stormed the field hoping to tear down the goalposts. According to the Rebels, this caused Mississippi A&M fans to get upset and a brawl broke out with chairs being thrown. The following year, the students felt there should be a trophy presented to the winner to avoid another fight breaking out. The trophy was designed to be a regulation-sized golden-plated football by the Iota Sigma Honorary Activities Fraternity at Ole Miss, and the golden egg was born. The game was played under the official name The Battle for the Golden Egg until 1978. Going into that year's game, 6-4 Mississippi State battled 4-6 Ole Miss, with neither being bowl eligible. This was back before we had a million bowls. That meant this was going to be both teams' last game of the year, so the Clarion Ledger dubbed it the Egg Bowl, and the name just sort of stuck. Ole Miss would win the game 27-7, and the media continued to refer to it as the Egg Bowl in the following seasons. There are conflicting reports on when the series started playing on Thanksgiving Day, but it is agreed that they started playing Thanksgiving Day consistently from 1998 to 2003, before the SEC stopped scheduling games on the holidays altogether for a decade. In 2013, the game returned to Thanksgiving and was flipped with Texas A&M and LSU a few times before it made its full return a year later. They have since agreed to continue having the game played on Thanksgiving with ESPN. Ole Miss Athletic Director Keith Carter told the Clarion Ledger in 2019, "I think when it's the only college game on the schedule, I think people are going to sit down after the lunch or early dinner and they're going to watch the game. I think it's being watched in California, it's being watched in New York, all across the country. Having that one game on can showcase Ole Miss, our state, and the rivalry we have. That means a great deal. That makes it seem like this rivalry is here to stay on Thanksgiving Day, which should be fun. Although the game is played on Thanksgiving, a holiday you usually spend with your family, there is no love lost between these two fan bases, separated by less than 100 miles. When you look at the sports documentary, Paid in Mississippi, a must-watch for any sports fan, the two fan bases could not be more different. Mississippi State is viewed as the more blue-collared, while Ole Miss is viewed as the more proper upper echelon. These two schools have tried to get each other in trouble with the NCAA, attempted to get players ruled ineligible, and have caused brawls between not just the fans but the players as well. 2017, as covered in the aforementioned Paid in Mississippi documentary, saw Nick Fitzgerald throw the middle finger up to the Ole Miss crowd when he got injured. 2018 saw the Egg Brawl occur when Ole Miss, trailing 28-3, appeared to score a touchdown to end the quarter, with one of the Mississippi State players continuing to fight for the ball long after Ole Miss player A.J. Brown crossed the goal line with the ball. Next thing you know, there was punches being thrown. The benches cleared and multiple players were ejected. 2019 saw the fake peeing touchdown celebration, which led to a 15-yard penalty. Matt Corral had connected with Elijah Moore with 4 seconds remaining, but due to the celebration, they were penalized at 15 yards. Ole Miss missed the extra point, and Mississippi State won the game 21-20. Both teams' head coaches would be fired after the game. This game would be called the Piss, the Miss, and the Double Dismiss. Last year's game came down to the wire, with Jackson Dart leading a 99-yard scoring drive with 1:25 left, but Ole Miss would fail in the 2-point conversion, giving Mississippi State the 24-22 victory. And Mike Leach's last win. These teams have cost each other college football playoff spots and opportunities to play in the SEC championship game, which you know the opposing fans love. Will this year be different? Who knows? All I do know is there is probably going to be some viral moment that comes out of it. But what do you think? What is your favorite college football rivalry? Let me know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out one of my other videos YouTube thinks you will love right here. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more college football content. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, remember to embrace the grind.